everybody. As you can see, I have actually treated myself to a new camera. I'm hoping this will cure the wind noise I keep getting in using my phone as a camera. So I have actually got the muffle on the microphone that's supposed to stop the wind, and I've got this to do my YouTube videos on, so I don't have to use my phone anymore. So I'm hoping this will be a lot better, and like I say, it should take a lot of the wind noise out, hopefully. This is my new Canon camera that I shall be making my YouTube videos on from now on. Let's hope it all goes well. Well guys, what a cracking sunny day here we've got today. We've had a couple of days of this and it's really nice. Of course we've got the royal wedding tomorrow, so the weather's going to be good for them. That's the pond. Everything's good with that. All well at the moment. It is a little bit cloudy, I'm afraid, because they've been digging in that new lily I put in, so they have made quite a mess. But there you go, that's koi. Right guys, I'm going to put this camera to the test. It is quite windy out here at the moment, as you will see from the trees. So we'll see if this camera is any good in the wind. It is quite blustery at the moment. But anyway, we'll have a go. I have been asked how I managed to grow lilies with about 40 koi in the pond. My koi I do probably overfeed, to be honest. But I think if your koi are hungry, they will eat your lilies. And this is my take on why you aren't able to grow lilies. If you're keeping your koi on the slightly hungry side, they will eat whatever's in there. They'll pull your plants to pieces. And the only reason, as you'll know when you see my koi, that they are quite big and chunky, but they get what they want to eat. I don't keep my koi hungry at all. This is why I've had to do the filter system I have. Number one, because I've got 40 koi in the pond, and number two, I do feed them. As you won't see any thin koi in my pond at all. But that's my reasoning, or that's why I think you're probably having problems growing your lilies. Anyway, you have asked to have a look at my koi, so we'll try to have a look. I'll try to show you some. It is still a little bit cloudy from the giving it the vacuuming out yesterday. It's still a little bit on the cloudy side, but I'll try to show you one or two of them if I can. My grandchildren have named most of them. They seem to have given them names which seem to have stuck, but I don't know whether you can see him. That one down there we call Chunky. He's probably one of the biggest in the pond, or as big as any of the others. He's a lovely fish, he really is. Beautiful fish. And then I've got my little ones that I grew. You saw in my videos, previous videos, the smaller ones. There's quite a few of them down there, you can see them. These are the ones that I grew. I captured some eggs from the pond of one of the bigger koi spawning. That one there is one I got from a local koi shop. He's a lovely koi, or will be. The same as the one near him. Now him, when we got him, was absolutely schizo. He used to fly around the pond like a maniac, but he has calmed down so much since we've had him. He was only about 4 inches, 5 inches when I got him, and he's grown into a nice fish now. I'll come out a little bit, try to give you a good look at them. There's a few bubbles on the pond. That one there, as you can see, just going under the lilies, he was one of mine that I bred from the spawning. The one that actually spawned is down the bottom there, if you can see her under the bubbles. That's the one they call Nellie. She was a rescue koi. She was actually in a pond about quarter the size of mine and jumped out a couple of times and did herself quite a bit of damage. So they called me in to ask me why he was jumping out, and I had to tell them the pond wasn't big enough, or she had. I'm trying to get some good shots of them. Now that one there is going to be a lovely little fish, that orange one there, if I can get in. That's one that I bred. He's decided, being as the camera's pointing at him, he's going to go under the lilies. Fair enough. Come out a little bit. Yeah, she'd done herself, she'd got 2 big gashes in her side and she's damaged one of her eyes, bless her. So they asked me if I'd have her because there's no way she was going to stop in that pond. And I've had her, I've got the gashes in the side healed up. This was some time ago, but she's still got a bad eye, bless her. But I think she's happy now, she's not trying to jump out anyway. I've got quite a tail with several of my fish in there. There's another nice little fish, if I can get him. Down there. That'll be a nice little fish when it grows. That's one I got from my local koi shop. They have had some lovely koi just lately. I've got about 40 in there. They've all got a bit of a story to them. It's like Finn coming this way now. I'll show you him if I can. He's just coming up this way. We call him Finn. He's gone under the basket now. Yeah, that's Finn. He was in the koi shop. You will notice he's got one of his front fins missing. He's a bit shy this morning by the looks of it. He was a lot bigger than all the rest, yet a lot cheaper. So apparently nobody wanted him because of his missing fin. So I had him, bless him, and do you know, he's probably one of the biggest characters in the pond. He'll come and feed out my hand. He was one of the first to come and feed out my hand. But that's Finn. That black and white one down there, that's one of my koi that I bred. Old Chunky there is always trying to seem to get into the picture for some reason. But like I say, that's why I've got the filter system I've got, because simply I've got a lot of fish in there. Plus the fact, I mean, people cut back on their food with the fish to keep their nitrites and ammonia down, and I've had to build myself a filter system that will cope with whatever they turn out, and that's how I've done it. And as you saw in my last water test, I've got no ammonia, no nitrite, and my nitrate is down to about 10, so it's on the good side. That's tolerable, quite tolerable, 10. As you can see, I have been setting some new plants around the pond, ready for the summer. The lilies are coming up really nice, they've come up well, so I'm expecting quite a few flowers on them this year with a bit of luck. The pond plants, these are the ones I bought online. To be quite honest, well disappointed. These have come well. What did survive, I lost about 5 of the 8 that I did buy, so not a very good result really. I ended up with 3 out of the 8, but we ended up with 3. I suppose that's something to be grateful for. These are the ones that I bought from my local koi shop. They're coming quite nice. They're looking quite well. And that's the rest of the ones that I got from the koi shop. And these are the other 2. They've spread out through the basket now, but they've spread out well. That's the others that I got from online. Was it Westland Plants or somebody like that? But to be quite honest, they weren't very good at all. But the pond's coming on. Starting to look nice. Once them plants start growing at the top there, all will look good, I think. I have set 1 or 2 around the garden as well. There's a few plants we've been planting up a little bit. We've got some more to get yet, but we'll see how them come. Unfortunately, I haven't had the birds this year, which is very disappointing. I don't know why. I was looking forward to them again, but unfortunately nothing this year as yet. Don't know whether I'm a bit early or what, but nothing there. The pond's a bit cloudy because I did hoover it out yesterday, so it's cleared up nicely. You couldn't see a thing in it yesterday. I gave it a good bash in with the hoover. There is a little bit of breeze today, not too much, so I'm hoping this new camera's sorting that out. I think these pots will come nice once they start hanging over the sides and growing down the sides, overhanging the pond. They should come quite well, I think. I'm hoping. Me not being a gardener, I'm not 100% sure, but we hope so. Okay, what I do want to talk about is these scarecrows. You can buy them on Amazon and eBay. Now the one we're looking at here, I've had for 6 years, probably a bit longer, and it's never been a problem. Absolutely perfect. But I wanted to try one of the cheaper ones, which is this one here. And the difference is they're about £5 cheaper than these. But in my opinion, they're just not worth it. They really aren't. If you take a look at from there to there, sprinkler, nothing wrong with it, it's fine. But from there down, they're rubbish, to be honest. Whether it's me just got a bad one or what, I really don't know. But if you look at the spike on this that goes in the grass, they are so flimsy, it's untrue. The wind is wobbling the thing about all day. Excuse my cat. The thing is wobbling about in the wind. But you can, the real problem with this thing is, you can switch it off, walk in front of it and get absolutely soaked when it's switched off, which is really annoying because it soaks so many people. It just goes off when it feels like it. If you knock it, it sets it off. When the sun's moving around in the morning to being in front of the magic eye there that detects movement, it sets it off. So it's going off about 5 or 6 times every half an hour because the sun's setting it off. And to be quite honest, whether I've got a bad one or what, I really don't know, but I think they're rubbish. I'd much sooner pay the extra £5 and have this one that's never been a problem. The only time I've got wet with that is when I forgot to switch it off and it was my own fault. But I'm really not impressed with these things. For an extra £5 I'd have another one of them any day. I wish I'd never seen this one. But there you go. Had to try it. I think they're about £20, £22 and they're about 27. So to be quite honest guys, spend the extra. Not impressed with this one at all. Okay guys, now here in the boiler house, everything is working absolutely brilliantly, really. It's fabulous. I've got the setup I've been working towards for a long while, and it's absolutely brilliant. My nitrates are the lowest they've ever been, and I put that down to the Backy River. I've got no ammonia or nitrite in the pond whatsoever, and the RDF, well, I can't fault it. It's superb. It's no problem, it cleans away. I hardly ever touch it at all. I have today, which I do roughly about once a week, on here I do have the hose connected today, so I'm running it from the garden hose to kill off the bacteria on the drum basically. Now this has been running 14-15 months now, and the mesh is still as clean as the day when I put it in, as you can see. And I seem to have found the answer to not having to fit a UV light in here. I will just give you a quick show of the pond temperature. I hope you can see that. We've got 19 in the pond and about 24 outside. I hope you can see that. There's a bit of glare, but I hope you can see that. We've got about 24 outside and 19 in the pond. Now I will just set the cleaning mechanism off just to show you how it works on the tap water. I've got a button here that I obviously press to trigger it. I fitted that when I fitted the system, which is quite handy really. So if I trigger that, as you can hear, it's working away, doing a grand job. That's running from the hose pipe. I'll keep that down, else we'll get a bit wet. But yeah, doing a cracking job and keeping the, I've got a couple of bits of water on the lens now, and doing a cracking job at keeping the bacteria at bay off the drum, as you can see. But as I say, everything else in the build house is absolutely spot on. The Evo is working away. That is a great UV light if anybody's interested. Not cheap, but do work very well. My pump's working away. It's doing a great job. I'm pleased I bought that. It is the SS20 from Mega Pumps. Absolute koi, I think, do that. But yeah, great stuff. This is the filter system I've always wanted, really. I can't say it's any better at keeping the pond clean than the other filter systems, because I don't think it is, but it's definitely as good. I haven't found anything better yet. But that's the filter house anyway. Just thought I'd give you a quick look at that. Well guys, it's quite a bit duller here today. The sun is slowly trying to break through, but it's quite cloudy. What I'm doing here is I've made up another lily pot. There is one lily in my pond that the koi's been at, and I'm going to repot it. But I don't know whether I've ever shown you this before. I did make it up as a prototype really, but what it's for I'll just show you. What it's actually for is getting my lilies out the pond. What I do is get a hoe or a rake, just put it under the lip of the lily pot, drag it to the side of the pond, and then if I can show you with one hand, as the lily basket is in the pond, I place this under the lily pot like so, and then lift it out the pond. I made that several years ago as a prototype and never did anything else with it, but I can now lift that lily out the pond, or I can pick that up now, take the lily over to the pond and lower it into the pond. Then I push it back. Sorry, there's a helicopter going over. Then I push the lily across the pond to where I want it with either a rake or a hoe or a brush or something. Just push it out to the part where I want it. And that's how I do my lilies without sort of having to get in the pond and pick them out. But that's what I use. I made it several years ago, as I say. I don't think I've ever shown you it, but that's what I use. It just fits under the lily basket like so, and then I pick it out the pond. And these are movable, so they can be moved. These can be moved in or out on that bar for smaller lily baskets, so that you can do different size lily baskets or square lily baskets, and that's what I use, to be quite honest. Don't think I've shown you it before, but there you go, and that's how I lift my lilies in and out of the pond. Anyway guys, I'll show you the replanting in the next video. We'll save that one for the next one. So all it leaves me to say is thanks for watching, do take care, and happy ponding.